Plug-in car sales are going absolutely crazy in Europe, especially in France, where they're up 71% versus the same time last year. The funny thing is, car sales are actually down in France, but EV sales continuing to go up. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you here. And it's really good to see just this positive news every day about EVs, about batteries, about the future getting better and better and better. And I know some of you here who watch the channel think the world is going to hell in a handbasket, but I can tell you now, it is most certainly not. Things are getting better and better. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would really appreciate your support, trying to get to 10,000 subs by the end of the month. And of course, as you know, this is a new channel, only been around for 2 months. I really want to make the best videos I can for you guys. And of course, by subscribing, that enables me to do that. Now, in France, plug-in car sales reached a new record in June of 2021, with Tesla leading the charge with 5,000 sales, making it the 8th largest selling vehicle in France. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the start, right? This is just the very first little beginnings of the S-curve. And of course, imagine Tesla's sales when Tesla have a Gigafactory in Germany right next door and are able to sell these with their new 4680 battery cells, potentially using, I believe, lithium iron phosphate chemistry in those battery cells, which will further reduce the cost on, say, the base models, allowing more and more people to own one of these vehicles. Now, add to that the fact that Chinese manufacturers are going to be selling EVs, cheap EVs in Europe very, very soon. Cars that they currently sell in China for $10,000 US, which are actually pretty good quality if you look at them. Look at the batteries they're using now, which will enable you to, get 10,000 or more charging cycles from a battery before you see really any degradation at all. The batteries are going to last longer than the cars. You know, this market is really improving, and it's going to happen so much more quickly than people realize. Now, like I said, the Tesla Model 3 with over 5,000 sales was the 8th best-selling car in France, but I believe Tesla would have sold a lot more EVs and Tesla EVs as well if they had have simply had access to more of them. But of course, Tesla are supply constrained. Whether you want to believe that or not, it doesn't really matter. The facts are the facts. They're simply supply constrained right now. And in many cases, you have to wait months after you place an order to get your car. Now, remember, the overall passenger car market in France has gone down by 15% year over year to 120,000 vehicles, but the plug-in segment has surged to a new all-time monthly record. In total, 39,000 plug-ins were registered last month. So nearly around about 35% of the entire market was a plug-in vehicle. And that's up 71% year over year. Now, passenger plug-ins, 37,400, accounted for about 19% of the car market, which almost matches the December record of around 19%. It means that nearly 1 in 5 new passenger cars is a plug-in. Another thing is that all electric cars were noticeably above plug-in hybrids. Passenger full EVs were 21,000, which is up 52% or 10.5% market share. Passenger PHEVs, so plug-in EVs, also with an engine, were up 127% at 8% market share. So you can see full EV vehicles have a higher market share now than hybrids. Light commercial BEVs, 1,239, were down, and they have a 2.6% market share. And this gives us a total plug-in number of 39,000, which is up 71%. So far this year in France, the plug-in segment has increased 117% year over year to 150,000 vehicle sales. Now, I just released a video recently about Renault's, some of the cool EVs they're coming up with, specifically Renault's new kind of mini hatch, which honestly, I think it's one of the coolest looking cars ever made. And I love Renault's plans for this vehicle, what they're doing, what they're trying to do to get the price, the cost down, the factories they're building in France. There's huge stuff going on in the EV sector. If you haven't seen any of my other videos about what's happening, you really need to check it out, because I'm telling you now, the world is changing very quickly, and it's really good to know what's happening, to know, not go walk into a car dealership, buy a car when a month later a way better car is going to be available for sale, and you missed out because you weren't paying attention. So the best-selling EV in France in June was the Tesla Model 3, with a new monthly record of 5,000 registrations. Means it's up 706% year over year, and it allowed it to capture the number 8 place in all cars sold in France during the month of June. Now, the second most popular EV was the Renault Zoe with 3,350 sales, followed by the Peugeot E208 with 1,900 sales. Now, guys, honestly, the Renault Zoe is a piece of shit. The Renault E208 is a piece of shit. Hey, don't get me wrong. They're good cars. They're better than their comparable ICE versions, but they're pretty crap. Even Chinese cars available in China from automakers that most people haven't heard of before are making better cars than what the Renault Zoe is, let's be honest. But the French don't have a whole lot of choice. It's the same problem for many countries right now, because ramping up of EVs is not happening quickly enough for customers, for the demand that's there. So people go, well, I don't have a whole lot of choice, I'll get a Renault Zoe. But I'm telling you, look at the models being released over the next 24 months. People are going to have so much more choice, and the vehicles are going to be so much better. So much better. Look at by, say, 2023, all the models are going to be available to French buyers. Imagine the purchase decisions. No one's going to be buying a Renault Zoe or the Peugeot E208 unless those two cars significantly improve over what they are now. But it just shows you how many people want an EV that they're willing to buy those vehicles. Now, thanks to an outstanding June, the Tesla Model 3 has strengthened its lead in France, while the Renault Zoe is in second place so far this year. Now, the top 3 EVs year to date in France are the Tesla Model 3 with 13,000 sales, Renault Zoe with 11,000, and the Peugeot E208 with 9,000. Personally, guys, I thought that France would be a tough market for EV penetration. There is no environmental movement really at all in France. People there are not really that interested in the environment. And don't get me wrong, of course there are people that are interested in it, but in general, there's not any big movements going on in the same way there are in many other European countries such as Germany, the Netherlands, Norway. So, once you turn France, Italy is inevitable. Then, of course, those other European countries that are too small to have their own auto corporations will have to take what the big companies are offering. And that's when the entire market goes. I think that will happen within the next 24 months. Tell me what you think. Tell me in the comments. How quickly do you think it's going to happen? By 2025, what percentage of vehicles for sale do you think will be EVs versus petrol? I'm very interested to know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.